Vibes fans? Welcome to episode 4, season 7 of the Good Vibes Show by me, Jerry Hoy, part of the Special Chronicles Network. So I hope you've all had a wonderful week and weekend last week during episode 3. Episode 3 was a kind of a good one for you. Just a quick recap on that, as it was on Wheel Enterprises and making your own magic in the water. Basically, yeah, making your own magic in the water. That's the slogan for my team for USA Games, but making your own magic, obviously. So for today's appreciation and support vibes, and this is actually kind of going hand in hand with what's going on currently with my life, is swim meets. So yes, some people are like, oh, we all hate swim meets. Like, I actually enjoy them, honestly. Though I kind of don't, not liking this swinging around ordeal, obviously, but I think no one does either. But I think what's so appreciation and support of swim meets is being able to be around your teammates, having people cheer you on and such. I think that's the more appreciation and supportive element of swim meets, as well as having good officials, good volunteers, good timers, everything. Also having time to talk to your coaches and everything. In which these last 2 weekends I've had swim meets. One that was strictly for my the Team Virginia USA Games swim team nation Wizards, and this one, which was a time trials hosted by a local program, in which technically most three of us were there as they show Wizards. One of us was with his team, and the other one can attend, but we'll all be our next week. We'll be at George Mason University on April 24th. And yes, that's going to be a fun one, because that's going to be like a big meet in itself, because that could be considered our final tune-up, though we may potentially actually get 1 or 2 more meets in as well, potentially, who knows. But swim meets in themselves in general are just great things, and I think some people just don't take the time to appreciate them or be supportive of them. Minus the fact you have to wait a long time, obviously, but who doesn't? Like, you have to do the same thing on a track meet too, honestly, and other sports too. Sometimes the long waits are boring, but at swimming, at least you have some entertainment just watching people swim and such, and just enjoying it. And I think, for me, just being able to do that for once, for the first time in over 3 years, 2 to 3 years, it was kind of fun to actually watch it for once. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so fun. I have not been able to watch this ever. And it was just so fun to cheer on my teammates as well, and work for it and so much. So that's for that. So before we go on to today's positive uplifting vibes, here we go with our sponsors ad from our great sponsor, the Special Chronicles Network. The Good Vibe Show is proud to be featured on the Special Chronicles Network. Visit specialchronicles.com for links to follow on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Be sure to also subscribe to the newsletter and find the podcast page for this podcast, The Good Vibe Show, by me, Jerry Holy. If you love The Good Vibe Show, then you'll love the other podcast on Special Chronicles Network. On the Special Chronicles Network, specialchronicles.com for links to subscribe to our podcast, newsletter, and to follow us on social media. And to support the podcast on Special Chronicles so we continue our mission of giving respect and place to people with special needs, visit specialchronicles.com/give to make a gift today. So, for today's positive and uplifting vibe, it goes hand in hand with the swimming thing, just making a splash. And obviously, what does that mean, technically? And sometimes I wonder that, but I think me making a splash is making a grand appearance, doing something amazing or something. I think it's how you interpret it. So sometimes you're making a splash at work, you're making an amazing effort to do something. In the pool, you're always just splashing around, but maybe also showing people that you're more capable of what you're able to do and such. But interpretations of what it can be varies, honestly. But I think we all can make our own splashes, like, no matter how big or small they are, because they're going to be impressive for people to understand what we're able to do, and amazing folks. I think some people just don't take the time or two to make a splash. I think some people are, and I'm not trying to be mean to anyone here on the show, obviously, because this is called Good Vibes, folks, so I do apologize in advance for this. It's some people just don't take the opportunity to make a splash, and I think I'm just going to motivate you right now is do take a splash. If it's just a small one to start with, just do it, because a small splash creates bigger ripples, as we can say it. So basically, there is a ripple effect from making a splash, obviously. It can be good or bad depending on how you look at it, but just doing it first may actually give you an opportunity to learn something new about yourself and such. And I just really highly recommend to folks that you make a splash for yourselves every now and then. Like, honestly, I made a splash for this, with the Good Vibe Show, honestly. It's a good example of making a splash. Now, it's not been a big splash, because I was hoping for it to be a big thing, and to me, I'm okay having a small listening group. I'm okay with it. So to me, a medium size, it's like sort of similar between a small to medium sized splash for me was okay. Now, if it gets any bigger, obviously, then I'll be happy, but that'd be long term probably. So, but that's just a good example of making a splash there, folks. Just doing something you never thought you could do, and just do it. So, I just want to thank you all who've turned in for Good Vibes to be part of this splash. So let's wrap up here, folks. So once again, our sponsor from our good friends, the Special Chronicles Network. The Good Vibes Show is proud to be featured on the Special Chronicles Network. Visit specialchronicles.com for links to follow on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Be sure to also subscribe to the newsletter to find the podcast page for this podcast, The Good Vibes Show, by me, Jerry Holly. If you love The Good Vibes Show, then you'll love the art podcast on the Special Chronicles Network. Specialchronicles.com for links to subscribe to our podcast, newsletter, and to follow us on social media. And to support the podcast on Special Chronicles so we continue our mission of giving respect and place to people with special needs, visit specialchronicles.com/give to make a good day. And I just also want to remind you folks that Good Vibes, there's also the Good Vibes special series on my road to 2022 USA Games. I'm still working on the next episode for that, just to remind you that for now. But remember to follow the Good Vibes Show on Instagram by Good Vibes by JH and Facebook, facebook.com/Good Vibes by JH. Also subscribe to the Good Vibes Show by Jerry Hoyt on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Last time I checked my total hearings right now is closing on 3.25, as in 325 listens. So that's great. I hope to get that up higher, obviously, and make it higher by year's end. Who knows? But I just want to remind you that. I also want to remind you folks that I gotta plan out. I will do the season recaps for 6 and 7 together as one episode, because I think they're both unique episodes, both unique seasons, because they both were coincidentally the same season size, and it makes it easier just to know and such. So I just want to remind you of that. Remember to also listen on to the Road to 2022 USA Games, my special series on my progress as I prepare for the 2022 Special Olympics USA Games. So until next time, everyone, have a great week, great weekend, have a fantastic Friday, folks, and I'll see you all next week for episode 5. So peace out, and have a great rest of your time, everyone. Bye, everyone.